Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Saturday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go up to our friends up in Queensland. Of course, we're speaking with the Virginia United National Premier League women's team. And of course, they played last night against Brisbane City. And unfortunately for them, they fell short by a goal in that game last night. Of course, we've got three very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks all three for joining us.
How's it going?
Hey.
Hi.
I'll get all three to introduce yourselves and tell us what position all three play on the field.
I'm Emily Adams and I'm the goalkeeper.
I'm Jasmine Genovese and I'm the striker.
And I'm Louise Lowe-Jones and I'm the centre back.
Played last night. Obviously, I did mention I'm not going to talk too much about last night's game, but just tell us briefly, how did it all go?
It was a pretty tough game. I think that both teams were really gunning for the win there, and you could see both teams really wanted it really bad. So, yeah, it was a bit of an unfortunate loss there, but I think it was a good game all around.
Now, of course, that was part of the the play-in games. Of course, trying to get back into the NPL. I guess, what's the aim for the rest of the season to hopefully get yourselves back into the NPL?
Get some wins is probably pretty much what's going to get us there. I think we're not sitting too bad positionally on the ladder, but we do need to start putting some goals away and start getting away with a couple of these wins, and that should hopefully put us close up there.
I guess, how important was the first half of the season in regards to, trying to get yourselves to not go into that play-in? And I guess, was there a particular game that you thought, that could have gone your way, that you could have not been in this situation?
There's definitely been a few games that we should have won, but then we just got a bit tired towards the end of a few games, and then we just conceded in the last couple of minutes, which gets a little bit disappointing, but it's all a learning experience and we're all just learning together.
Yeah, we're still working on that game.
Game in particular where, I think we go out there not expecting, but we could win all of the games that we play. We have a really talented team. But like the girls said, we haven't all played together before. This is the first time in this kind of competition for us. So I think, this year was sort of us trying to put some good steps forward of where we're going to be as a club in the future.
Those players in your team that's had a great season so far, and you can't include yourselves or each other?
Oh, Em, our goal stopper. She's crushed it this year.
Yes.
I think Annie Evans is really starting to pull into form at the moment. She's been creating some really great chances for us. I think she's going to be a bit of a challenge on that left wing for any of those right backs or right wings for the rest of the season.
Agreed. Even Riley too. What's Riley's last name? Lemke?
Yeah.
Lemke.
Lemke? She's come up from the 23s just need to start in top team, and she's just been killing it, surprising I think us and herself. So she's been doing really well.
Same with Sarah Nisbet. She came up from the 23s and she's been starting for us at almost every game, and she's been doing really well.
Yeah, good speedster on that right back.
Yeah, I agree. Good asset on the right back.
Yeah.
A very long turnaround to your next game, because obviously you played last night. Your next game is on a Sunday at home to Peninsula Power. I guess how important is now this, you got a little bit of a break compared to everyone else going to your next game against the Power on Sunday next week?
I think it's really important just for us to keep our spirits high, even though we did lose last night. I think that our morale was really high and you could tell everyone was really in it. So I think if we continue that onto the next game, good things will just happen.
Yeah, I think it's really important to leave that game done now, move forward onto where we're going to be going next week.
And how do you think the preparation is going to be like into that game against Peninsula Power?
I think we just have to be really focused at training, and I think we just got to get it done this week.
And definitely touching back with our physio on any niggles while we've got that opportunity to have some important recovery as well.
Tell us a bit about your coaches there.
I've actually known Costa for probably 7 or 8 years, back when I was playing with him earlier. And he, as a coach, watching him grow over the last 7 years to where he is now is astronomical. How he holds himself and the way that he cares about a women's soccer team is like no one I've ever experienced playing. I've been playing since I was 6, so I've never really experienced someone who has that dedication, that support, and someone as a coach that you feel like you could go and talk to, and as a male as well, to be honest, and feel comfortable speaking to them. I think his support for the girls, not just the NPL women's side, but the under 23s, he's going to do great things, I think, as a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially for me as a goalkeeper as well, you know, he knows a lot about goalkeeping. And often as a goalkeeper, you kind of get pushed aside a bit as go warm yourself up or get your goalkeeping coach to tell you what you need to do. But he's just an all-rounder, and you can, like Lou said, you can really tell that he genuinely cares about every single person in the club, and particularly focuses a lot of his time on the women.
I think also, like, he's very serious when he needs to be, but he's also very lighthearted and can have a laugh as well, which really brings the team up as well.
Yeah, not afraid to make a fool of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does that regularly, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, I very rarely ask this question, but I'm going to ask this question now, which is, tell us, how special is to play with each other on the same team?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
I've never played with such a good bunch of girls. Like, I only just moved up here a couple of years ago, and I've been playing with Lou for 2 years and Jazz only this year. But I don't know, everyone in the team's just so good. We don't have any kind of conflicts really. Like, everyone's just there for each other on and off the pitch. It's an awesome environment to be in.
Yeah.
It's a really great club and team. Not just, when I say team, I'm talking about our under 23s as well, because they're as much part of our squad. They help us better ourselves at training as well. So I think, you know, as a team, and the club, we have such a good you know, structure and support network with each other.
The question I'm going to ask is, how did all you get involved in the World Game, and why did you choose it?
I started just because my sister was playing, and I was like, oh yeah, that looks like fun. I think I'll start playing as well.
I did the same. I used to follow my brother around doing everything, and I wanted to do what he was doing. So I started playing in his soccer teams. He hated it. And then, just haven't stopped since, till my body breaks down.
I was exactly the same way. You know, I only started playing because my sister did. I think I was doing ballet at the time, and I realized terrible at ballet. And my mum definitely encouraged me down that football path instead.
Can you pull out some ballet for us at training next? I'd love to see that.
I don't even think I could point my toes at this point.
Now, well, you might as well almost just answer my next question, which is, you all mentioned that obviously you got into the sport because your brothers and sisters are involved in the sport. Now, who's the better football player out of your brothers and sisters and yourself?
Oh, me.
Yes, I would say me.
My sister stopped playing, so I don't think she'll be mad that I said that.
Yeah, my brother's not playing. I don't think he's playing. He's got creaky joints too. Must run in the family.
Now, any highlights throughout all through your World Game careers so far?
Yeah, I've had a few. I have played for the ACT Academy of Sport, which is the Canberra United Academy team. So I'm originally from Canberra. I played in a few nationals and made the All-Stars team a few years in a row. I was told I had a contract with the W League, and that the Young Matildas coach had their eyes on me, but unfortunately I had torn my ligaments and all that kind of went down the drain, but I've had a few good experiences, which is great.
Yeah, I'm from Canberra, and I think the best thing about growing up in Canberra is the sporting opportunities. You know, I was lucky enough to train with Lydia Williams and Mackenzie Arnold when I used to train at the AAS with the former Matilda's goalkeeping coach. And then, you know, lucky enough to get into a couple of the schoolgirls Australian teams just off that as well. So I think Canberra, like, I don't think I would be anywhere near as good as I am if I didn't grow up with Canberra and had all that great and support.
I grew up in the far south coast of New South Wales, so a small little country town, and I tell you, it's just so I could play in the best competition in New South Wales. So my highlights would be I played for a couple of New South Wales national titles in the women's country team, and got to play against Caitlin Ford and some of those players that are Matildas now, which I think I've got a picture in the same team as Caitlin Ford, but she's obviously up here now and I'm still down here. So, and honestly, I've actually never won a grand final before until we took the 2018 Mount Franklin Women's Premier League Brisbane trophy home. So that's the first time I've ever actually won a grand final as a senior player. So that was pretty exciting as well.
So pretty much all year from south of Sydney, by the sounds of all that. So why Queensland?
Warm.
Yeah, it's very warm.
It's too cold down there.
Definitely. No, I moved up to do my master's degree at UQ for speech pathology. So I just kind of, I don't know, I think I just applied out of a whim and I was like, oh, Brisbane should be nice and warm.
I did the same thing. I'll give it a whirl. Here we are.
Okay, so considering all you're from, you know, pretty close by, ACT and Southern New South Wales, have you ever played against each other?
I don't think so.
I remember. Maybe if I would, I wouldn't remember both of you, but like I don't remember back that far. That's a long time ago.
I think there's like a small age gap between each of us, so I'm not sure we necessarily playing at the same age level.
That's
although
right.
I feel as though Jazz and I should have played against each other because we.
What are you trying to say?
No, just like
you
even
got me older. You got me old.
Jazz is much younger than me. You're a couple years older than me. But yeah, surely Jazz and I have played against each other and just not known.
Yeah, you probably would have. Yeah.
Now, what does the Sport of the World game mean to all three of you, and especially being at Virginia United?
I think it allows you to express yourself. Someone
who wasn't, you know, always the smartest in school. It was kind of a way to make your own path and I guess find yourself a little bit, find a good group of people who are interested in the same things that you're interested in, and just to get out there and have a bit of fun, have a kick around and make some friends. I think I learned a lot of skills from football.
Yeah, I think it's really underrated, like playing in a team sport, not necessarily soccer, but how much you learn from it that you don't realize until you get older, you know, working as a part of a team and, you know, dealing with stressful situations that I think they're stressful. And you would probably think Jazz would think they're stressful, you know, learning how to deal with that. I know when I first started, like I was a cranky little girl that used to run on the field, and now I'm kind of just, okay, this is what's happening. So I think it teaches you a lot of things, and I think it's really important. You know, I think our club as a whole, you know, we see a lot of the younger girls around and they come and support us, and we try to support them where we can. And I think that's really important as a club. You know, you want to know that as a young person, you've got, you know, a team to grow up into, and as a, you know, people that are our age now, that we're role models for these young people in our team. I think that's really important. And the world game is such a good, you know, thing to share.
Definitely. I mean, I still use it when I go for job interviews. I still talk about how, you know, I'm part of a team, and with my position requires leadership, requires teamwork, it requires, you know, reflection upon your own skills and whatnot, and being able to move on from situations that don't go the way you want them to. So there's a lot to take from it.
I think also with, like, we've all had injuries and things, so you build resilience and you have so much gratitude for just being able to play the sport and appreciation.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, obviously, in 2 years' time is the Women's World Cup here in Australia. I guess, are you counting down to those days, and especially, you know, having that up in Brisbane? Because then also, of course, you've got the Olympic Games as well in a couple more years after that. But how special will it be to have the Women's World Cup?
Amazing.
That's going to be awesome. It's going to be so good.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It'll just help everything yet again. I think it'll be a good spotlight to not only shed on, you know, the greatest players in the world, but also to those younger people thinking about play, or thinking about, you know, how those role models to look up to as well.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be really important for our sport, especially women's football. I think it's going to be great.
What would be your advice to our listeners out there that should get involved in the World Games, especially down there at Virginia United?
Just get stuck in. Just do it. It's such a great sport. And, you know, you don't have to play for the Matildas if you don't want to, but, you know, there's so many different teams and many different paths that you can go for from playing this sport, and the comradeship and the team, like the people that you meet, you know, you're friends with for life. Some of my best friends are still people that I used to play with, you know, when I was 14. I still talk to them, you know, every couple of months, you know, so I think it's really, really important to get involved. And it's fun, you know, just get stuck in, especially Virginia. You should all come to Virginia.
Definitely. The best thing about Virginia and the sport in general is that there really is a level for everyone. So you don't have to feel like, you know, if you're not this good, you can't play. You know, there's a level for everyone. Give it a go. Everyone really, really welcoming, particularly at Virginia. So yeah, give it a go.
Yeah. I think don't be too hard on yourself as well. Like, if you're just starting, like, there's always so much room to grow, and take each game as it comes, and there's so much support around you and the team. So yeah, just give it a go.
And for everyone that should watch your next game at home on Sunday against Peninsula Power, whereabouts is your home ground?
Albert Bishop Park.
Nudgee Road.
Now we'll finish off with this a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moment on the field this season, and what was it?
Alana Kennedy. Alana. Oh, no, not Alana Kennedy, but Alana last night.
Swindley. That's
Swindley.
Swindley.
Alana Swindley
hit the deck so hard last night. She got a bit of a stutter. I think it happened twice. No one was around her, and it was the funniest thing.
If that didn't happen, it would have been yours and that Capalaba. That's the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Alana's on the leaderboard now.
Yeah, that was good.
We've already got the reels going.
Has she recovered from that twice?
I think
she's a bit sore this morning.
Physically, I think she's all right, but mentally, maybe not. But we'll support her through it.
She's got to get that pride back up now.
Yeah.
Pick her back around where she first played.
Now, who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
I reckon the comedian's Riley for sure.
Yeah, Riley. Yeah, Riley's a comedian.
The best singer has got to be Costa, surely.
Yeah.
Is he? I've never heard him.
Oh, ask him to sing. What's his favorite song by the Mr. Brightside? Ask him to sing that to you next time. He's really good. Really good. Good listen.
It's definitely
Dancer.
Probably
you've
ballet
got ballet
background.
background, mate. So
Ella's the
ballet
she's the
dancer.
actual dancer.
Oh, yeah.
is she?
You watch her stretch and her head damn near touches her toes. Like
I feel like Bean does a few of those those TikToks.
Yeah. Her and Ella, the other Ella.
The young kids are up to these days. Yeah, Bean and Ella are probably the best dancers. They're the only people I've ever seen dance. So
I've never even seen Ella dance, but just judging by her flexibility, she's much better than I ever was.
She's probably done ballet, mate.
Yeah. Like me. Yep.
Well, I guess it just answers my next question about who's into their TikToks. So I'll move on to the next one, which is, do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Really? I guess
No.
I feel like I have to wear 2 pairs of socks, otherwise I won't play well.
I have to have both ankles strapped exactly the same, even though I probably don't need to have them strapped anymore.
Yeah.
Done the same.
I have to shave my legs the night before I play, because when I was younger, someone told me I would run faster, and now I just do it before every game. Sorry.
I do the same thing, but it's more so because I know that I'm going to get some additional scratches and whatnot, and I won't be.
It's aerodynamics, Em.
Oh, maybe. I just don't know when I'm going to be able to shave again. It's all dependent on how it is.
Now, with most sporting clubs I've had on the show, they have a fine system. Do you have a fine system? And if so, who's topped the most fines?
Costa, is it Costa on top?
Is he?
I don't know. He gets fined all the time.
I reckon Sigrid's on top.
Yeah, Siggy probably.
Yeah.
Or Riley herself,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, she's
the
managing
fine
the fund.
controller, but I think she's got quite a lot of fines.
I think she's given herself some leeway.
Yeah.
Now, have either you copped a fine yet? And if so, what was it for?
I haven't copped one yet, which
Oh,
is
goody two
lucky.
shoes.
Oh, good. We'll look out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll find a reason to
I
fine
think
you.
you're bound to get one, Jazz. Now.
Yeah. This week, Jazz, your
Touch wood.
fines you can have my fines. I think I just forgot to send my 3-2-1s in after a game,
Yeah.
and I put attending to the wrong training session.
Yeah. For not sending my votes. So
Yeah.
I've been on top of it ever since.
Yeah. Nothing too bad yet.
Now, is this part of a fine doing this interview?
Surely not. Surely it's a
No way. We should get we should be in the positives. We should have a little kitty from doing this, I think.
Yeah.
We'll finish up with this last two, which is, what's the strangest thing that you've seen on the football field by either your team or your opposition?
Strange, but once when we were playing a nationals game, one of the girls went to take the kickoff and she missed the ball completely and fell over. That was pretty funny.
It's like
That's so good.
our team. I feel like one of the strangest city the other week, and the ball looked like it was out, but it wasn't, and everyone was out, and Brooke was the only one who realized it was still in. And it happened again with Brooke, I think, on the other side. Like, it's just this weird occurrence where everyone thinks the ball's out and Brooke just takes it on her merry way.
Off she goes.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. I just think of funny things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it strange.
Yeah.
Foster's love for karaoke strange? I don't know.
That's strange. It's strange, but at least he does it well, you know? He's really committed. He's not only committed to the soccer team, but he's committed to his karaoke.
Yeah.
Right.
Multifaceted man, that one.
Right. I think at least I've got something to do when I go up to watch your team play is to see him sing.
Get on the mic.
See some dance moves by a couple of your teammates by the sounds of that.
I think like as soon as we got the new clubhouse, Costa was like, all right, where are we putting the karaoke machine?
Yeah. It was a prerequisite for them building the clubhouse.
It was.
We'll finish up with this one last one. Now, we mentioned about obviously the two players that are into their TikToks. Have they tried to convince the team to join in their TikTok phenomenon?
No, not yet.
I've personally never been asked. I'm offended.
No.
Yeah. Now that you mention it.
We'll have to do one now.
Yeah, I think because they're both, I guess, new to the squad, so maybe they're still finding their feet before they ask.
Come and approach us.
Yeah.
Also, I can't dance to save my life. So I probably would not be making that TikTok any good. That would be the strangest thing that anyone's ever seen.
Definitely. Yeah. I'll be there trying to teach me how to point my toes. I just won't be able to do it.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully when you get the win against Peninsula Power on Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, well, all three, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having all three on the show. Let's hope you can get back on the winning track against Peninsula Power at home next Sunday, and hopefully get yourselves a chance to get to the top of the ladder and hopefully win the competition to get yourselves back into the NPL top tier.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. And of course, if you want to get down there to watch the Virginia United play against Peninsula Power, that is next Sunday, not tomorrow, next Sunday. Of course, at 4 p.m. Of course, we'll put all the details up on how you can go down there and support the team. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.